Because it's all psychological. It's not real confrontation of an issue with a solution in mind, right? It's just to perpetuate emotional abuse further. That's all that is for, right? So, Driver's Mate Podcast, back with another episode. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate all the good times that you spend with me and the feedback, right? It makes it all worth it. Appreciate your time. For returning viewers and listeners, thank you. For new listeners and lookers on, right? Subscribe, share, like. It helps with the algorithm. Not only helps my channel if you're concerned about helping just me, you help content creators just like me, right? So real people doing real things, and you help to keep freedom of speech free. So if you can do that, it means a lot. Check out my main channel at CNCCMI. Let's get into this. What do I usually do in days like this? Reaction videos. Tisk. Yes, indeed, right? So, in a reaction video, on our style of doing it, we click a YouTube short at random, you get my initial reaction, then I give a response if there is one to be given, an opinion. So, here we go. What we got?
Tell me what you think the long-term results of a steady diet of such conversations. A time for gossip, start talking about this one and that family.
Gossips for peasants.
And this one did this and that one did that. In innocent children, what's going to result? Again, you don't need to be brilliant to understand. The result is, that's my life. My life is based on talking about other people.
Oh.
Which really is a subtle message saying I have nothing to say for myself. The only thing I can talk about is somebody else.
Do reactions count?
What do you stand for? What's your vision?
Yeah,
Tell
baby.
me what you think the long-term results of a steady diet of such conversations.
All right.
A time for God.
That is my guy, right? Rabbi Jacobson. Okay, I F with this fella. For all intents and purposes, right? I like his content. I like the things he has to say, right? He's not right all the time. Definitely not, because no one is right all the time. But as someone outside of my own culture that I listen to, that is one of the many voices that I listen to, okay? So that's Rabbi Jacobson. For my Jewish community out there, you may have thought, oh, he's a bit shaky, I don't know about this guy. Good, you're not supposed to think I'm a good guy. I'm just a guy, right? So remember that, I'm just a normal person. I do listen to Jewish people too, okay? Anyway, so, what is he saying? So, there's the gossip part, and then there's the digestion of bad conversational habits, right? How that affects you growing up. So yes, if there's one thing you can be sure of, yeah, what a child runs up and says, right, and the way he acts and the things he or she does is a direct reflection of their parents, right? What they see and hear in their household, if not their household, in their school environment and their friends, right? You can't always throw the parents under the bus, but for the most part, if the parents have taught and trained their kids properly, the school and friends have much less effect and influence over their children, right? Because the children are taught to be strong enough, smart enough, wise enough, and know what to do and what not to do, okay? But yes, if a child gossips and is amongst that kind of energy as a child, and we're not going to put it all on women, because many of you men are very bitch-made and gossipy too, right? A lot of you man spend the majority of your days, evenings, nights talking about other men, other women, instead of doing anything productive, right? So there's a lot of you, so we're not going to put it all on women. But for the most part, the effeminate nature of gossiping comes from females, right? With all due respect. And the reason that gossip is more of an effeminate trait is because communication is one of the most potent tools a woman has in her arsenal, right? Whereas a man has the potentiality to do violence, to abstract what he wants and to dominate and do things, right? A woman uses communication. So gossip is violence of the tongue, right? It's slanderous. It can be just as vicious and malicious and have long-lasting effects than an actual violent act can, right? In both psychological terms and emotional pain and physical terms, right? Because if you gossip about the wrong thing, you could get somebody hurt, you could get yourself hurt, right? There's that. So yes, gossip as a whole, well, as a seed, it comes from a tool that women use, right? To both control, manipulate, create power, and take down people they don't like, right? That's mostly where it's used. But as I just said, men use it too. And what do men always do when we use these tactics? We have to fucking 10x it, right? We have to use it for war. We have to use it for sport. We have to do all of these things to make it more aggressive, more violent, more potent, right? That is what men do to things, okay? Most men. So anyway, yes. Me personally, you probably already know if you've been here long enough, right, that I'm in the 4 pillars video. I make it explicitly clear that it's not wise for a man to engage in any kind of gossip or slander of another man, right? Even if you're in a situation like we are right now, and through like a Creative Commons kind of situation, commentating on culture and content, it is never the intention to gossip about an individual's life, actions they may have or may not have committed, right? That's never the intention. So that with that understanding, you'll probably understand the way I operate, right? And like I said from the outset, gossiping is for peasants, right? It's for people that aren't really putting their mind to anything substantial and working on anything, so they have this spare time, spare energy, spare communications to waste on frivolous nonsense, right? I don't remember who it was who said it, but small minds discuss other people, mediocre minds discuss events, great minds discuss ideas, right? So there's that. Keep that in mind, right? So yes, these toxic habits, because gossiping and slander is very toxic, but it's very much so, society is very much so entrenched in it, right? The way you're indoctrinated as a child going into society, you see it in your media, you see it amongst your friends, family, groups, all of these people participate in gossiping at some level, right? And no one is completely above it, right? No one is completely without sin. You get it, right? No one can cast a stone, put it that way. But for the most part, once you reach adulthood and you're educated enough, or you've experienced enough life experiences, you've met people and seen how they operate, and you've seen the good and the bad that people can do, you usually come to a point of more an empathetic approach of how you look and deal with things, right? Because you experienced the bad and you've experienced the good at some point in your life. A lot of people never grow to this point, right? In all honesty. But for the majority of us kind of people, we understand that, right? And a solid pillar of manhood is to be firm and grounded and confident and understanding. And not only are you able to dominate, but you're also able to empathize, right? So you're able to be soft and still firm, okay? So that is a side to that. So yes, I personally think gossiping is for weak people, right? Shaming people is for the weak. Those that use shame as a tactic are potentially weak, right? Using communications to attack. And those that concede to shame and to gossip are also of weak mind and usually weak character, as much weak as the people that portray or perpetrate shaming tactics, right? Because it's all psychological. It's not real confrontation of an issue with a solution in mind, right? It's just to perpetuate emotional abuse further. That's all that is for, right? So I personally think those that do that are weak, and I treat them as such. Once I see that trait within them, I treat them like peasants and weaklings. I'm sorry if you feel offended by that, and if you gossip and you think I think I'm holier than now, too fucking bad. You know that meme when she's like, but I'm tired, Grandpa, and he's like, too fucking bad, or too damn bad, right? Too damn bad, right? I think you're weak and a peasant if you engage in gossip and shaming tactics. But that's my opinion. Okay? So yes, be mindful of how you use your words when you use your words, especially around children, right? Because they imitate and they copy and they grow and become like the people they're around the most. Like they say, whoever you're around the most, whatever content you ingest the most is going to form your characteristics and your habits and your traits and all of these things, right? But an aware person, let's not say aware, right? What we always say is, freedom requires vigilance, right? So if you're going to take your freedom seriously and your own individual sovereignty, it requires you be vigilant with what you do, what you see, what you participate in, and responsible with what you do, what you see, and what you participate in, right? And it's not for everybody, because not everyone is a serious person. A lot of people are just jokers floating through life. So accept them as they are. They show you these weak traits and these habits of backbite, slander, gossip, shame and tactics. Treat them as such, right? And remember, one of the foundational principles of the Torah and Christianity, the Christian Bible and all of that, is treat others how you would like to be treated, right? So don't forget that as a key. It's an easy key that everyone can bloody do, right? So remember that when you find yourself engaging or sliding down that scale of talking about what another person did, if it's not to educate, if it's not to correct or provide a solution, you are really just fooling yourself and further perpetuating the negativity that already permeates our culture in high places and low places too, right? So that's my 2 cents on that. Let me know what you think. Am I being an idiot? Am I overanalyzing? Or am I just being holier than thou? Ooh. Or do you agree, right? Do you think these types of common practices are just weakling, shaming, cowardly stuff, right? And real strong individuals need not engage in that type of activity, right? You tell me what you think. Glad you can join me. Obviously, I appreciate your time. I didn't want to waste your time. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully I made you laugh or entertained you, right? But as long as your day is going good and you're keeping a smile on your face, you're staying strong, you're staying confident, motivated and educated, I've done my part, you have done your part, and society will be better off for it, right? So check me out on all social medias, any that you want to use, probably on there. Sign up for the Patreon, get exclusive content, ask me to speak about things that you're interested in and what my take is. Perhaps I could advise you on something that I'm actually well versed in or expert level understanding in, right? Perhaps I could, right? But that aside, Drivers Mate Podcast, check out CNC CMI, my main channel, and I will see you later. And oh yeah, look at the next video in the playlist. What are you doing, man? There's way better videos than this one, but hey, if you like it, you like it. You know what I'm saying? Leave a like. See ya.